room and then it just
There we go.
ah, ha 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 ha. So bad computer.
Bad computer sounds like about it. All right, let me move this
Bad.
over here. Let me move my camera really fast so I can see you and you can see
And
me.
I'm gonna change my little dude to hopefully I won't hit something. And hold on, you're gonna see some lights kind of going crazy. All
That's
right.
okay. I'm gonna fix my camera real fast. Well, that
I'm
was
thinking,
interesting.
yeah, so it wanted to open up in something completely different, and I'm trying to,
All right, now at least we have it figured out, right?
yeah. So I don't know. So that's that. So I don't know how. So is it going to your page or group page or anything?
Just to my page, I couldn't figure out how to get that group one to work.
Because it asked me if I wanted, like, when I was setting up, when I was, before you had asked me to join the room, it asked me, do you want to broadcast to, pick your person, and then
Uh,
do you want to broadcast to a specific group or your page?
yeah, if you want to call me back and try to broadcast to the group, we can do that. But I couldn't seem
I'm not
to
gonna worry about it.
get it to actually work when we were trying to do that.
I'm
So,
not gonna worry about it. So,
okay.
because I don't even know how to get it to broadcast uh to my page. So
All right. Well, I can try to. I'll try to figure out how to share it to the found footage group after we talk.
that that's fine. I see a button that
Okay.
says link. I'm trying to see something. Oh, share link. You know me. I'm hitting buttons. I was trying to see if I can at least do it to my page, but it's just never mind. Anyway, boo boo. Anyway,
Nice to finally talk to you.
yes, yes. Sorry it took so long. Well, it seems
No,
to me
that's
like
fine.
so long.
Yeah, it's been a
So
while,
long.
but this stuff takes time, and you've been going through a lot. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, I'll do it this way. Hey y'all.
There we go.
That's how
This is
everybody knows me.
Candice. We are both members of a found footage group, and she's kind of the mama bear of the group. And so
Yeah.
I've been asking her for a while if we could do just like a interview or conversation on live, just about the group or about. She does movie reviews as well, so just kind of wanted to talk to somebody else about their experience. So I feel really lucky to have her here today.
Bye. You know. Hey, yeah, that's you summed it up just right. And believe it or not, I actually don't feel I do reviews. I feel I give my opinions because
Well, I
they're
think that is a review, though, right? Your opinion about something is your own personal stamp.
yeah, but like in the film industry, it seems like a lot of people like who do reviews say like like Dread Central and all these others, they break things down with, from cinematography to the acting to the this to the that to the da 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 da, and I do, and we even have someone in our group, Nazira, that breaks it down, and I do this, break it down, ricker, break down,
Yeah,
because that's how, I mean, she breaks it down. Me, I'm like, okay, let me get to the point. I didn't like this, or I like this. This made me I'm not giving all of that breakdown,
yeah.
So I'm just skipping over all of that. And if you want to find that, I'm sure there's 50 million thousand people out there that, has all that. I'm just telling you the candy opinion, of y'all.
Well, I
And
think
some of the
everybody
people,
really likes that. Likes your
yeah.
just kind of opinion on stuff. So I think that's a cool way to go about it.
And I try to make it fun, because if you go on YouTube or TikTok and all these social media or these websites, and you're going through all that, sometimes it can be you know. So
Yeah.
I try and make it fun and lighthearted, so it gives you a laugh,
Yeah,
and
I think it gives a little bit of insight into you, which is why I think people like it so much.
that and that is actually me. I get it from my mama, but I get that I like to have fun, and I'm gonna just be me some way, even in every single thing I do, um, work wise, to track officiating, to even my product testing and mystery shopping and all this stuff. I'm still gonna put some of me into it, which is fun, lighthearted, you know.
Yeah.
If I have to be serious and go into some hardcore, stuff, I will. It's like, well, what about this? All right, let's talk about this, and let's discuss this. Like we're just, talking now, you know, that's, I didn't realize how big it would get. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't expect something as little as starting out as just a picture of me making a strange face to a movie could give so much, and people just latched onto it, and it's become what it has become. The Mama Bear, the Mrs. Peachfoot, all the nicknames I have, in there. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. My mom laughs all the time about it, you know.
I think it's really cool that just something you enjoy is something that you're able to show yourself in, and other people appreciate it, and like you said, they kind of latch onto it. um, I didn't know you before I started in the group, and I haven't really connected with a lot of people like personally in the group, but I
Yeah,
could definitely tell you were someone that like is charismatic and empathetic and wants to actually exchange ideas and be part of the group in like a meaningful way. So that's why I reached out to you, because I was like, well, this seems like somebody that would actually want to be engaged in a conversation about movies. So that's why I was really glad you were actually responsive, and I'm sorry you've been going through so much recently, because I
that's
know that
okay.
that makes doing the stuff you love really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to pull back a little bit and it was just before or just around the time you had reached out to me, and I had said, y'all, I'm going on vacation. I got to take a break. This is what's going on in my life, and I'm comfortable enough. And I haven't even been with the group a year. That's what's interesting, that I'm able to say, this is what's going on in my life. Um, and that relates with a lot of people that they're even now comfortable saying in the comment section of stuff, this is what's going on in my life. So it's quite, granted, I had to take some time, for myself and back and just, but the group, I will say, just would not let me, the fam just would not let me, because it was constant messages, phone calls were, how are you doing? What are you doing today? You know, and that checking on me. And I credit, not just my family, but the group for getting me through from my kitty cat's death to my father's recently. So I credit y'all just so much. Um, I'm trying not to get teary eyed. So,
No,
sorry.
it's cool to have community, even if it's not in-person community.
Yeah. It can be with what I do, because what y'all see or what you see, it naturally becomes PR, and promotion and marketing, just naturally, just by someone, word of mouth is the biggest form, you know, but it carries over from what I do for a living anyway,
Yeah.
so it just, no matter where I go, it's a photo of this or that, or just, you know, um, things like that. And people do ask, when are you gonna have a YouTube channel? I gotta have it. When are you gonna go TikTok or this, that, or the other? And I say, not anytime soon. No,
You
no.
wouldn't want to try to be able to do like, because I know you do reviews of a lot of the found footage stuff on the Facebook group. Like you said, whether it's just like a quick smile or a frown or a funny face and a paragraph, or like a 5 to 10 minute video that you post on Facebook, you wouldn't want to try to do that like professionally so that that's like a source of like income for you.
No, oh well, I don't see it as that. And I'll give you my main reason. There's already 50 million of all that, out there. It's saturated with all of that. I noticed when I started doing this, and I'm telling a story at the same time, um, when I kept getting asked, when are you going to have a YouTube channel? When are you going to have this? When I started reading some of the comments from my posts, I've had people start revealing some of their stuff, clinical depression, pains, this, that, or the other. And they would say, I was having the worst time, or this, that, or the other. And I got a notification, and there was your video, and boom. And that just picked me up. And I even had early on one person say, I was contemplating suicide, and I got a notification that there was a post from the group, and it was your post, and you stopped me. I was like, number one. And the fact that they were able to say that, number two. And then number three, personal message, you okay? All
Yeah.
that. And and that meant to me that they're not doing anything. It just, I popped up at the right time. I see it as if I were to go, say, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. Granted, they have notifications, but they'd have to search me out through a whole saturated place. When the
See,
group, I pop up. Go ahead.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, I think you could. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I think you could, like on TikTok, for instance, if you did, because TikTok's like short form, like 15
Mhm.
second, 30 second to 3 minute. On a form like that, if you put out one of your small little "this is how I feel about this movie" things, if 10 people felt something about that, then the algorithm would send it out to 100 people, and if those 100 people had a reaction, then it would send it out to 1,000 people. And if you can have, sorry, what I mean to say is, if you already have such a large impact on a group of, I don't know how many people are in the found footage group, but I feel like active members is probably like maybe 1,000, something like that. Um, I
Yeah.
think that if you could have that positive influence on a larger audience, maybe not YouTube, you might be right. Maybe that's not the right platform for you, but on something like TikTok, you can actually have direct messages with the people watching your videos. So you could have a similar type of interaction with people, but with people that, because like in the found footage group, you don't get to get your message across to people that aren't part of the group. Whereas on other platforms, you could get that message across, and maybe somebody that is having a bad day that's never heard of found footage before could see you. You could change them around, and then they could be exposed to a new form of filmmaking and get multiple benefits from your content in that kind of way.
The other, and you know, I've actually had, friends that I've made even more from the group, even say, say what you have said, but not so eloquently, but I love how you put that. Um, the other big thing is, when am I gonna have the time to edit this and that or the other to put, to put it out there? One. Number two, I don't, I guess this may sound a little selfish, and if it does, don't, I don't mean it this way, if it comes out this way, but, um, when, when am it's like with the group, I don't have to post something, like all the time, like some say
Yeah,
influencers or other, you always have to put out content, 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 content. In the group, I don't have to do that. I can just go a week or so, whatever, without saying anything, or just commenting on someone else's post. I don't want to be all, because I have this view, maybe, and maybe it's the wrong view, where I see other platforms that you always have to put out content, every day, or this or that, editing, or this or that or the other. I don't want to have to be forced to go through all that. I want to be able to just post whenever the heck I feel like it. You know what I mean? And not be on all that time, if that makes any
you don't
sense.
want it to be like another job. You want to continue to enjoy the way that
I
you're
want to,
interacting with the audience.
yeah. So if there's a way around all that and I'm not being forced to put out content all the time, because I would love to not just do, because I've had people go, you just need to do movies just in general, just go, and I'm like, I'd love to do that. And not just, found footage, even though, the found footage side is where I have more fun. But if I can get around that, and doing, if it even comes to it, editing and this and that or the other, and hit that button, like, subscribe, I don't want to have to be taking all that time to do all that. So if someone did it for me, hey, that's fine. And and I just sent a video, psh, you do it. So that's another thing, in addition to reaching that 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 what I said before and how it reached others. You know, um, I would love to reach more people, because everyone's dealing with something. And if I
Yeah.
can put a smile on your face for a second or two, or a couple minutes, great. So those are my hurdles. Because with everything I have going on now, adding that pressure, I still want it to be fun and lighthearted and stuff. I don't want it to be another job,
Yeah.
if that makes
That
sense.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
So,
So
um,
I think I'm in a
yeah,
place where I'm so sick of my normal jobs that if I could just review movies, and talk to other people that are into movies and edit. If I can do that stuff for 40 hours a week instead of the stuff I normally do, I think
Mm.
I would be much happier personally. And I know that that's not for everyone. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
say that it is by any means, but for me, that's kind of one of my motivations, is just like, the more that I'm spending time doing this stuff, the more I'm meeting other people that are into the same type of thing. Like, all of my friends in real life are like into movies, but none of them that I've ever asked to do this type of thing have been gung ho enough to like actually do it. They've all
Yeah.
been like, sure, I'd be down to do that sometime, but they've never like actively pursued trying to do it, or really, you know, found the time to be able to do it with me. So that's why I really like doing it more than not, because I get to meet people like you and other people that are actually interested enough to like take some time and talk about this stuff. And I know
Hmm.
we've talked more just about our own kind of ideas about what we're doing than actually talking about movies so far, but I feel like we'll still get an opportunity to talk about them. And even if it's not in this conversation, we will get an opportunity to talk about them, because I watched some of the movies you recommended that I watched, and I would like to have a discussion sometime about those films, or just like found footage in general, because there's I feel like there's kind of like found footage movie fans are like a separate sect of movie fans, and then within that separate sect there's kind of like subdivisions. Like, there's found footage movie fans that like every found footage movie like ever made just because it's found footage, and then there's found footage fans that only like super high polished found footage films,
Hmm.
and then there's fans that like only like, let's say, like paranormal found footage films. They don't like the like monster feature found footage films. And then there's people that can only really connect with ones that are like maybe the more comedy style found footage that
Yeah.
aren't as, horror or intense. And then there's other people that don't like them if they have like added effects, like sound effects,
Hmm.
score, music. And so I think it's an interesting genre to just kind of learn about filmmaking in general. Um, I know the first movie that got me into found footage was probably Cloverfield, because
Yeah.
I was just like, I wasn't expecting that type of filmmaking in a high budget movie. And it really kind of blew me away to be like, oh, they're creating a home footage feeling with expensive cameras and with a full crew of people working. I was like, this is really interesting. And then
Yeah.
after that, I found like the Blair Witch and was like, okay, they're doing the same thing in this movie. Like, they're creating that feeling. And I think people that aren't in production at all don't understand that even if you're not aware of it, all film is heavily manipulated to create a certain feeling or a certain atmosphere, or
Hmm.
if it feels natural, it's manipulated by people that are talented to make it feel that way. And
Hmm.
so that's why I was like, okay, this is really cool. This is like a new brand of cinematography in a sense.
Yeah. I, for all my years in the industry and learning the, granted, I had, I've been in the film industry like 15 to 17 years. Oof, I'm old. But I still do, be it social media campaigns, doing the PR stuff, whatever. But you find out, because you have to be on set sometimes, taking photos, what, you're way back here, but you're seeing how things are being done. And it got me going, oh, so that's how you did that. I'm still scared, you you
Yeah.
know, all that being done. So when found footage really got out there, you know, it just, it was just so interesting because I love to be a part or feel a part of the film or connect with the character so I can go on that journey with them, and things like that. So with found footage, perfect. If I don't connect with anything, I'm kind of I'm kind of bummed out because you're supposed to be a found footage film and you're supposed to make, in my opinion, the viewer be a part of it in some way, shape, or form, and you did not achieve that. But even still, if you're even able to just peeve me off, you know, you're a darn good actor because you just pulled that much emotion out of me that I want your character dead. I mean,
Yeah.
it it's all that. So, and over the years, meeting so many, directors, writers, producers, actors, and, you know, it's hard to get into their circles as it is
Yeah.
because they're very hesitant about you because they don't know if they're like, okay, are you trying to be my friend to elevate yourself? Or you just trying to get in with me so you can meet, all those reasons. And then they finally realize it may take a couple years that I'm your sounding board. Go, or hey, I have to talk to you to kind of get how you feel about this character, especially if I'm doing what's now known as LARPing, online, which is what I started out doing when I fell into this, for a particular show, or in series that's no longer, on, but I had to play the official characters. So I had to talk to these people and stuff and get people to want to be a part of the world where you want to watch the show when it comes on, you know,
Yeah.
and things like that. N- so now I'm like, I'm gonna protect you with my life. I'm gonna protect the information you tell me with my life, everything, all that within me. So when people see me get, you know, about jumping on people for having an opinion, Mama Bear comes out, this, that, or the other, that's me, you know, trying to protect and all that. But, and just, but you get to meet, even in the group, up and coming filmmakers, things like that, and they're just trying to make it like anybody else, you
Yeah.
know. And I'm happy that I'm actually talking to someone that actually wants to just sit and review movies, edit whatever, and put it out all day. You know, I've never met
Yeah.
someone that wants to do this.
Well,
Do
I've
what you're
made
doing.
like some short films and stuff, and I think part of the problem for me in like actually producing content is I didn't very often get to work on projects that were like passion projects. So
Hmm.
I wasn't like releasing that real creative part of me that needs to be fed. But I'm really passionate about movies, and I can watch movies and talk about them with other people like all day long and really get into like why they're important or what's meaningful to me or even what I enjoyed about a bad film. And I was really, just thinking about it. And I was like, well, if I can do this to movies that aren't popular, so I can give those movies a bigger audience, a bigger voice. And so I can find out for myself, like, because I'm not a big like normal mainstream movie fan. Like my family all went and saw the new James Bond movie and they're like, "Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "No, I don't like those movies at all." And they're like, "Wait, you don't like James Bond movies?" And I'm like, "No, like $500 million to make a mediocre movie that's like just an action spectacular about a rich white guy being the coolest guy around. Like, that's not interesting to me. Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't drive the reason that I go see films. And what you were talking about earlier with found footage, like you being part of the experience and part of the film being important to you, I
Yeah.
think that that's a really cool thing that found footage does, that a lot of bigger movies try to do and they don't succeed at. Like
Mhm.
when you're watching like a Marvel movie, you may like it and enjoy it, but you don't feel like you're part of it, or at
Yeah.
least I don't feel like I'm part of it when I watch it. But yeah, when I watch something like As Above, So Below, I feel like I'm in the catacombs with those characters. And that's
Yes.
what made that movie like creepy to me. It wasn't the acting, because the acting isn't the greatest in that film. It's not terrible, but like you feel like you're just with people in a situation. You don't feel like you're with an experienced actor that knows how to manipulate your emotions to make you
Mhm.
feel something. Like you feel like you're actually with people in
Yeah.
that environment. And that to me was what made that movie like brilliant. Was like I felt like I was experiencing those things with them. And I think that that's a really cool like take on a film.
Yeah. I was so claustrophobic watching that movie, and I was like watching it. Yeah. I feel you. It's interesting how found footage has or is evolving. You know how with horror, back in the day, and I say back in the day, I'm only 38, but back in the day, horror was literally just horror. There was no subgenres or, within that. And then it evolved to, you have your slasher this, you have, your paranormal this and this. That. With found footage, I'm noticing, my opinion, of course, that it seems to be evolving, or you have a genre that's having or subgenre of horror that's having more subgenres, if that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah.
Because like you said, the paranormal part of it, or alien abduction parts of it, or the raw looking of it, or the big budget look, and people, argue all the time what is a found footage film when it used to have the rules, the original rules of everybody's dead and you found the footage. You
Yeah.
know, now it's the rules have changed, and there's the arguments about what is a found footage. It's different for everybody, you know. Um, and what's scary or what's supposed to be scary in a found footage film. It's not necessarily jump scares. That's why I told you to watch, for example, Death of a Vlogger. I thought that movie was scary, but not for the sense that people say would expect, not the oogly booglies, as I say, not the
Yeah.
ghosty, part, but that the social media aspect. Yes, I am a millennial, but that social media aspect of what it can do to a person, say a YouTuber, when everybody loves you and then all of a sudden they turn on you in a second
Yeah.
because they're behind that anonymous, I can never say it because there's just too many syllables, their anonymousness,
Yeah.
behind their screen names in this, and what it actually does to that YouTuber or that person. It turns into depression. It makes them do things, dangerous things to get those people to love them again. When to me that's scary, and unnecessary. Don't put
Yeah.
yourself in harm just for someone that's behind the screen that says, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Psh, okay. even if the people say within the group that, have supported me in this, that, or the other were to just turn at the drop of the hat, yes, I'll be sad. I'm just like, but I'm not gonna do something harmful to myself or to others just to win you back.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on. But younger generations, and some my age, still don't see it that way. They have to have those likes, you know, those comments, those this, those, everything that comes with all that to, I guess you could say, have an existence. So so that movie scared the crap out of me because look what happened to this person, you know, because once they turn, there's always that doubt of something, in other movies, found footage films that focus, not necessarily focus on it, but have that aspect, that social media aspect of it in there.
Yeah.
That always scares me because
Because it's like real.
that happens. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, it
I,
terrifies me.
I think
So,
it's a little different because I don't think the social media aspect is mentioned in the film, but for similar reasons is why I thought like Be My Cat was so terrifying
mhm,
because I could see a small filmmaker that thinks they're bigger than they are, like trying to do anything they can to get like that one actress to be in a movie for them or to try to get that one actor to do a movie with them. And
mhm,
I feel like that's like when when celebrities get murdered by their fandom or when terrible things happen to them, it's because of things like that. And
mhm,
that movie scared me not because I thought like the effects were great or anything like that, but I believed that that main actor was going through that situation and really believed that um what's her name?
um,
Anne
yeah,
Anne Hathaway, right? That Anne Hathaway would come to this small town and be in a movie for him just because his ego and like that I thought was like terrifying.
mhm, yeah, because I mean, it, yeah, I mean, think of the actors now and how, say, paparazzi act. They'll say anything, do anything, throw anything just to get that shot. You
Mm,
know, um, chase you, whatever, just to get that shot. No, no, it's not. No. So, films, especially in the found footage, genre that have that undertone, they don't exactly say it, but you're seeing it in that undertone. It's just like, you know, um,
yeah.
and that's what kind of that's another aspect of found footage that I'm just like, that keeps me engaged and feeling like I'm that person. I could be going through that. And they're getting bolder and bolder, as films go. It used to just be paranormal, cult, or alien. Now they're doing all sorts of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's evolving, and I think it's great. And at the same time, there you get your material from, not just your head, but things that you see, TV going on around you, family, whatever, that that plays a part in films, songs, whatever. And found footage is no different, so yeah, it's
I I think another thing that it does really well that other genres of movies or other genres of horror have a really hard time doing is having a low budget movie be scary. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think I can tell you any low budget, non found footage horror film that I've seen that I actually thought was scary. But every single one of my favorite scary found footage films has been very low budget. Like Be My
Yeah.
Cat, Creep 1, Creep 2, like we're talking like shoestring budgets, and those movies all I thought, especially Creep 1 and Creep 2, thought those movies were terrifying.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah. Go on. I'm sorry.
no,
I'm already scared.
I'm just so impressed that a small crew with limited actors and a small budget can like actually scare me. I find it just so impressive that the genre has that ability.
Yeah. Yeah. There are several, you know, yeah, there are several that can I honestly think only found footage can pull that off. My opinion. I and yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think of a regular, movie, that's pulled that off, and I can't think of any, you know, um, but found footage you can name many, many. Another big thing that a lot of people don't care for. Now, I'm a documentary nut, okay, are the mockumentaries. A lot of people don't think mockumentaries are should be part of found footage. I think they should because you're talking about someone no longer here, and some of these mockumentaries are just, I mean, a lot of people don't like, say, Lake Mungo or Savage Land or um my brain is having a senior moment,
The
but
Bay,
the Bay. You see my eyes just
yeah,
the Bay, you know. It just it's is just, and a lot of people see those, oh, well, like say the Bay as an environmental, you know, or eco, movie. I'm like, that, yes, that had some truth to it when it comes to Chesapeake Bay, whatever, but mm, what if? Mm, I got family in
yeah.
Maryland. Mm, you know, um, so it's these mockumentaries too. I mean, they're coming up like crazy with some, where you do have to go and was this real? You know, I Here's
Yeah.
one, the Blackwell Ghost series. Turner got better as each one, went on, but so many people thought it was real. I mean, so real that it's like, oh yeah, yeah, but he just filmed it that well that you think, where's my phone? Let me look this up.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, those are coming along too. I mean, this genre is just filled with filled with fun ones, and I can't wait to do them all, you know. So like I said, if I can overcome those things, you might see me up on TikTok or something like that, just so I can
Cool.
do all these
I think you
things.
would do really well, and I think you would like it once you saw how many people felt like blessed by your presence, because I think that that's like you can just like feel your energy when you're talking to you, and I think that's something I kind of have a hard time with. I don't necessarily like to be the center of attention, but
Hmm.
I feel like I like to engage in this kind of conversation about movies, and it's like one has to come with the other. I can't like do this and not be on the camera too. I can't be like,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's just talk about this, type of thing. So I'm trying to get more comfortable and be more natural in front of the camera. But even in this conversation, I catch myself like moving around and like looking at the framing and seeing what I look like. In I look at you and you haven't done any of that this whole conversation. You've just had the camera in front of you and just spoke about what you like. And I think that that comes across in a really cool way.
And it's funny because I'm look I just don't make it as visible because I've learned a couple tricks of the trade, but I've been looking in my mama's room. I've been looking, okay, where's my cat? I've been kind of like my eyes have been, looking. I've been looking at you, seeing what you doing,
Yeah.
you know, I've been looking at you. So I've been looking. And to be honest, I like right now my eyes are way over here and I forget, oh yeah, let me look. Hey, because I forget. Because I forget. I was like, oh yeah, well, let me look at you. But even within this conversation with you, you have loosened up. You've
Yeah.
loosened up a little bit, and it's like, I'm just someone else. What's up, boo? How you doing? I mean, so
But I
as
think it's helpful to see someone be comfortable like you are and be like, okay, I can feel that way too. I don't have to worry so much about the things that I'm normally thinking about when I'm not engaging in a conversation with someone else, when I'm just like
mm,
engaging with clips from a movie and the camera and the editing floor. I get inside my head more, but now it's just
yeah,
like, okay, like, can she see me, or did I like get out of frame to where you can't see me anymore? That's all that's important in this conversation, so that we can engage with each other. Because it's cool to talk to you about this stuff, because I can tell you care about it, and I can
mhm,
tell a lot of other people that they may care about found footage, but I don't know if they care about having an open discussion about it.
yeah. I believe it or not, I'm a part of several found footage groups. See, there you go again. I saw you move I saw you move over there. Um, I'm a part of several found footage groups. I feel more comfortable in those that are moderators and stuff in the other groups that are in this one, are just like, why aren't you this way in the other ones? I said, because y'all are so freaking serious. Because a friend of mine runs the found footage fanatics. Um, he created that one, and he's like, you haven't come in there. What is wrong with you? Where are you? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. And it's like, but they get very intense in the other group. I mean, if you mention a movie, you better be mentioning cinematography, editing, you, stuff, to have that discussion, you know,
Yeah.
why you didn't like it. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, y'all too intense for me right now. Let me go back over here.
Yeah.
So there are those groups, there, and then of course there are groups dedicated to various movies, whatever. I just feel more comfortable in this group because I can be more of myself. The admins allow me to do that, while still following the rules and, this, that, or the other. So it's just, I hope our next conversation, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, um, we will pick a movie and discuss it,
Yeah, I
because
think we should.
I think, yeah, I think this is our new thing. This is our new thing. However often it is, this is our new thing. Um,
Cool.
but this is just a general, today. But I'd love to just discuss because you seem to have, I'm gonna say it. You ready, boo boo? I'm gonna say it. You seem to have this film school negative persona of stuff. And I want to get in that head on why.
Yeah.
Because every movie that you've brought up, I didn't hear many accolades. I heard negativisms. So
Yeah.
I wanna discuss. I wanna pick a movie and discuss and see why you feel you have this view of it. And it could be, like I said, film school. It'll do it to you.
No, it definitely
But
probably was film school. Like, I went to film school, and uh, but I think the reason is probably similar to the reason for you. I know what goes into making a movie. So
mhm,
if you spent several $1 million and had access to great editors, great wardrobe people, great set designers, great prop people, great actors, great makeup
mhm,
people, great lighting technicians. If you had access to all that and the movie didn't make me feel anything, when the people that made Be My Cat, I feel like they had like maybe $50,000 to make that movie, and that movie like bothered me to my very core. Like, what the
yes.
fuck are these other people doing?
Oh man. Yeah, I get you. I get you. I mean, it's like bartending school. That'll ruin you, especially when you go to a job or something. Oh, you went to bartending school? Okay, we need to retrain you. You know,
Yeah. No, I think that's a fair criticism.
I really want to dig into some films and stuff, some found footageisms and stuff and do that. But yeah, that but anyway, th- that was a tangent, sidebar, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm just being me. And if I can make you
Well,
smile, I'll do it.
you do, and I appreciate you being you. I told you that someone asked me to review one of their movies, and I told them like, "Can I be honest?" And they were like, "Sure." And then it felt like they didn't really actually appreciate the honesty, and I do appreciate the honesty. Like you said, I feel more critical. Maybe it's because of film school or something like that. I appreciate you talking about that, because if it's something you notice and if it's something that's real, like, why not talk about it? Like,
Mm,
that's the real thing. Like, not like, well, maybe they want to hear this, let's talk about that. That's not like an engaging conversation.
yeah.
And those kind of engaging conversations are the one that I'm interested in having, because like, I have a friend that loves Ace of Base,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a huge Ace of Base fan. Like, it's catchy, it's fun, but like, after the 90s, I'd never like owned one of their records or like went out of my way to see their music. But
Yeah.
when I see how happy that music makes them, I understand the importance of that music, even though it's not important to me. I can see how
Mm,
important it is for someone else to feel that good by listening to that music. So I like to be enlightened into other people's experiences so I can
mhm.
see the beauty in art that I don't understand without their interpretation or their opinion or their perspective about it.
Yeah. Yeah. If I when when filmmakers ask me or reach out to me to say, "Hey, I'd love to get your opinion." Sure. And they'll start telling me certain parts of the movie, where say the sound is bad or this is bad. I'm like, don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me nothing. I will send them personal videos like, hey, this is, from a critical aspect, from a fun aspect, from, this, that, or the other, and then I'll do my little video for the group. But a lot of people appreciate that, because that helps them for, say, a sequel or prequel, or a different type of project, well, let's try
Yeah.
this, and this, that, or the other. So, and those that don't appreciate that and just want to hear, oh, my movie was awesome. No, no, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, if you want a yes man, don't ask me to look at nothing.
Or pay for one, right? That's like what they're
Yeah,
there for. Like,
you know, don't ask me to look at nothing. But if I genuinely loved it, even if I disliked it, I'll say it in a lighthearted way, but they get the point. I think about Safer at Home. I basically just looked in the camera. I was just like, now look at you. You're dead. Because you couldn't do this. And I'm fussing at the person. I'm fussing at the dang character, you know, and saying everything that was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm supposed to be drugged right now. And then they forget. I mean,
yeah.
so it's just so I find the way to do it, but to say, things, and even when it comes to and if you haven't watched it, just for the just for this, Isaac Boo Boo, I love you. Unknown Visitor by Isaac Rodriguez.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you
Uh-uh.
haven't, that it I had fun watching The Sandwich in the Water Bottle. You will hear a lot of people talk about The Sandwich in the Water Bottle. It was a fun gaslighting movie, and I'll just leave it at that. But The Sandwich in the Water Bottle, hands down, classic. They need their own show. You hear that, Isaac? You hear that? They need their own. They need their own show. Movie, something. But that just to have a kick. I think you'll see what I'm talking about. But
All right.
yeah. So anywho,
Well, I appreciate you doing this. I know you've been really busy and going through a lot of stuff in your own personal life. So thank you for taking the time. And I'll definitely watch Unknown Visitor, and I'll talk to you over like the next week or two, and we'll figure out which movie we want to like actually dig deep into and talk about the next time we do this.
that sounds good to me. I had fun. You loosened up a little bit, and I think I got you. You know, all right. I can handle the camera. Okay, I got this. Let's dig. So yeah, and despite everything, this was a nice break just to sit and chat with some chat with the fam,
Yeah.
because everyone in there has turned into family. So the fam. So I appreciate you
Good.
having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate you too. We all appreciate you and your smile and your laugh. So it makes us all feel better, And I know you
good.
know that, and that's why you do it. And everyone appreciates that about you.
Yeah, so I'm glad to do it. So I guess until next time, I'll wear a different bow. I promise.
Okay. And I will probably not wear one at all. So
Me and the headbands, gotta do something. So okay, my dear.
all
It was
right.
fun. It was
It
fun.
was. I
Time to
had a
go
really
eat.
enjoyable time. I hope if the group gets to see this, they enjoy it as much as we did.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully somehow we'll post it. Somehow it'll get posted. And they'll get to watch some of it, all of it, and just get a little more insight to me, and you
Cool.
actually.
Yeah. Probably the first like exposure to me, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You did fine. You did fine. You good. You good.
all right. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too, and of course, be safe and all that, and everything. Okay.
All right. I'll talk
All
to you
right, my
soon.
dear. All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.